Have you ever wondered, is age quietly stealing away your energy, your desire, and the vitality that once came so naturally? And what if I told you that 2 simple ingredients already sitting in your kitchen could help reignite that fire from deep within? Would you be willing to try? I'm Dr. James, a health expert with over 30 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their strength, performance, and confidence without relying on medications, procedures, or complicated therapies. And what I'm about to share with you isn't just theory, it's something that has transformed lives in my own practice, and it could start transforming yours. Tonight, imagine 20 minutes before bed. You apply a simple natural blend that jumpstarts circulation, calms hidden inflammation, supports your joints, balances blood sugar, and revives that masculine spark you thought was gone for good, all without pills, without gimmicks. Just the right synergy between extra virgin olive oil and clove extract, a combination that's been honored by ancient wisdom and confirmed by modern science. Now, let's be clear, a man's health after 60 isn't just about testosterone or muscle mass. It's about circulation, nervous system function, inflammation control, and above all the mental clarity and confidence that come when the body starts to respond again. When your body wakes up, so does your spirit. And this nighttime ritual could be the simplest doorway back to that strength. I know the idea of rubbing something from your kitchen onto your skin might sound strange at first, but this isn't just folklore. This is a restorative ritual backed by biological response designed to unlock energy where you thought none remained. And in the next few minutes, I'll guide you through the science, the benefits, and exactly how to use it properly so you can begin feeling the shift as soon as tonight. If you're truly serious about reclaiming your vitality, strength, and confidence after 60, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications, because what I'll be sharing could become the turning point for your health and happiness. Type 1 in the comments if this message speaks to you. If not, simply type 0. I'm always here to improve and support you at your pace. Now, let's take a closer look at why these 2 seemingly humble ingredients might just be the most powerful duo for men's health after 60, not just to survive, but to fully live. So let's ask the question most men never thought they'd need to ask after 60. Can something as simple as olive oil and clove truly shift the way your body feels from the inside out? If you're still here, watching with curiosity, that means part of you is open to the idea that healing doesn't always come in the form of a prescription. And that's a powerful place to begin, because before we talk about what happens when these 2 ingredients come together, we need to slow down and truly understand each one on its own. Only then can we appreciate the synergy that emerges when they're united. And believe me, that synergy is what creates the breakthrough. Let's start with the foundation. Extra virgin olive oil. Not just any oil, cold-pressed, unrefined, rich in polyphenols olive oil, the same golden liquid that has fueled Mediterranean longevity for generations. Most people associate it with heart health, but that's only scratching the surface. In my clinical experience, olive oil is like a silent repairman inside your bloodstream, softening hardened arteries, calming inflammatory pathways, and even nourishing the nervous system at a cellular level. When men over 60 begin using high-quality olive oil regularly, whether internally or topically, they often report a newfound ease in their joints, fewer energy crashes, and yes, even improvement in skin elasticity and muscle tone. That's not just cosmetic, that's biological renewal. Now, what about clove, that small, pungent spice often buried in the back of the pantry? Most overlook it. But inside that tiny dried bud is a powerhouse called eugenol, a natural compound used in traditional medicine for centuries. It's an analgesic, an antimicrobial, and more interestingly, a circulatory enhancer. What makes clove so relevant to men's health isn't just that it fights off pathogens or reduces inflammation, it's that it stimulates targeted blood flow, especially in areas where circulation tends to weaken with age. If you've ever felt your vitality slipping, or noticed your drive or stamina tapering off, it might not be about hormones alone, it might be about blood not reaching where it's needed most. And here's where the story deepens. Because while both olive oil and clove offer profound benefits on their own, the real magic happens when they're used together. I've seen it in my practice, men who had given up on regaining their edge, suddenly feeling more present, more connected, more alive after just a few nights of applying this blend. Topically.y. Because olive oil acts as a carrier, delivering the clove's medicinal compounds deep into the tissue where they can actually do their work. And clove, in turn, energizes the olive oil's properties, amplifying its anti-inflammatory effect and accelerating local circulation in a way that's noticeable not just physically, but emotionally. This combination doesn't just soothe or stimulate, it revives. You see, our bodies don't heal in isolation. The blood vessels, the nerves, the hormones, the emotional brain, they're all connected. When we support one, we inevitably uplift the others. And that's why so many men describe this evening ritual as not just therapeutic, but almost spiritual. It's a reminder that even after 60, the body still responds, that energy still flows, that masculinity isn't something you lose, something you can reclaim. If you've ever felt like your spark was fading, I want you to know it's not gone. It's just waiting for the right invitation. And sometimes, that invitation is as simple as the warmth of clove and the golden touch of olive oil applied with intention. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly how to prepare and apply this blend the right way so it becomes more than a habit. It becomes a ritual. But first, I want to hear from you. Type yes in the comments if this is starting to make sense, or not yet if you still need proof. Either way, you're here, and that's the first step. Let's move forward. I'll guide you through the method that has changed the evening routine and morning confidence of men across the world. So now the real question is this: what happens when you stop using olive oil and clove separately and start using them together with intention? Because what we're talking about here isn't just mixing two healthy ingredients and hoping for the best. This is about unlocking a synergistic effect, a biological conversation between two natural powerhouses that, when properly combined, do far more than either can achieve alone. Think of olive oil not just as nourishment, but as a delivery, a system, a transport mechanism. Unlike many oils, high-quality cold-pressed olive oil penetrates deep, not just through the skin's surface, but into the tissues, the capillaries, even reaching the tiny blood vessels that support your muscles and nerves. It doesn't sit on top, it moves, and what it carries can make all the difference. Now, pair that transport power with clove, a spice that contains eugenol, one of the most potent natural stimulants of microcirculation and inflammation control we know of. But here's the twist: clove on its own isn't well absorbed through the skin. It needs a carrier. That's where olive oil steps in, not just enhancing penetration, but directing the clove's active compounds to exactly where they're needed. And where is that? In many men over 60, circulation begins to falter in very specific areas: the legs, joints, and yes, the intimate regions where energy, performance, and confidence begin to wane. These are often the first places the body depriorates. We age. But this blend acts like a wake-up call, gently warming fatigued tissue, reactivating local blood flow, and whispering to your cells, it's not over yet. What's fascinating is what happens at the cellular level. While olive oil helps soften stiffened arteries and restore vascular flexibility, eugenol from clove signals your body to release nitric oxide, a natural molecule that helps dilate blood vessels and increase oxygen-rich blood flow. The result is enhanced circulation, reduced inflammation, better oxygen delivery to tissues, and a calmer, more responsive nervous system. And here's where the physical connects with the emotional. Many of my patients report that after using this blend, they don't just feel warmer or looser, they feel alive. Some describe it as a gentle pulse, others as a calming heat, but all of them say the same thing: it reminds me of myself again. That, to me, is the true power of this nightly ritual. It's not just physical restoration, it's emotional reawakening. It's the body remembering how to respond, and the mind remembering what it feels like to believe in that response. So yes, both olive oil and clove are impressive on their own, but together, they create a kind of harmony, one that doesn't just treat symptoms, but rebuilds the foundation of energy, circulation, and presence. Over time, this practice becomes more than habit. It becomes a message you send to your body each night. You're still capable, you still matter, and we're not done yet. And now that you understand why this blend works so deeply, let's explore the first major benefit you may notice. Something that doesn't just support your health but could very well protect your heart, improve blood pressure, and add years to your life if done consistently. But before we move on, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever tried using natural oils or herbs topically? Type olive if you've used olive oil before, or clove if you've tried clove. If you haven't tried either, type new and let's see how many of us are discovering this together. Let's keep going, because what comes next might surprise you in the best way. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you woke up and felt your heart working for you, not against you? Because for men over 60, few things are as critical or as underestimated as cardiovascular strength and flexibility. Your heart, arteries, and blood vessels are the highways that carry oxygen, nutrients, and life force to every cell in your body. From your brain to your muscles to your most intimate regions, everything depends on the quality of your circulation. But as we age, those highways start to shrink, arterial walls stiffen, blood pressure climbs, and before you know it, symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, low stamina, and poor performance quietly take hold, not because you're out of shape, but because the flow that fuels you is no longer reaching its destination. That's where this olive oil and clove blend does something extraordinary. We already know olive oil is rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats and powerful antioxidants. But its true gift, especially for aging men, lies in how it supports vascular elasticity. It helps relax the blood vessels, easing the load on the heart, making every beat more efficient, more effective without strain. Then we add clove, a spice, with a surprising secret: eugenol, a compound shown in clinical studies to enhance vasodilation, or the natural widening of blood vessels. That means better blood flow, reduced pressure, and improved delivery of oxygen and nutrients to tissues that have quietly been starving for years. Together, this blend functions almost like a natural tonic for your heart. It reduces inflammation along arterial walls, helps slow the progression of plaque buildup, and over time restores something many men haven't felt in years: endurance. I've had countless older patients, many of them managing pre- or even diagnosed hypertension, tell me that after just a few weeks of consistent evening use, they felt lighter, not just in the body, but in the mind. Less weighed down, more alert, clearer thinking. That's not coincidence. That's your cardiovascular system finally starting to breathe again, unclogged, more relaxed, and responsive. And make no mistake, circulation isn't just about better blood pressure numbers on a screen. It affects everything: your energy levels, your recovery after activity, your ability to sleep deeply and wake up refreshed. It sharpens your thinking, it fuels your motivation. It restores the sense that your body is no longer fighting against you but working with you. And perhaps most importantly, it gives you the confidence to believe your heart is still strong enough to support the life you want to live, not just the life you've settled into. But while cardiovascular support is a powerful beginning, it's still just that, a beginning. Because when you improve circulation and reduce strain on the heart, something even deeper begins to happen. You begin to reinforce your body's natural defense system. And that takes us to the next benefit, one that may protect you from illness, reduce chronic inflammation, and guard against the invisible infections that silently sap your energy without you even realizing. Are you starting to feel how this blend might be more than just a health tip? If yes, drop A in the comments. If you're curious what it could do for your immune system, stay with me, because what's coming next might just be the missing link to your long-term vitality. Now here's something most men never think about until it's too late. Could that low-grade fatigue, that chronic joint discomfort, or that lingering cough actually be signs of hidden inflammation or infection slowly wearing your body down? The truth is, as we age, the immune system becomes less vigilant, and that opens the door to subtle threats: bacteria, viruses, fungi that don't come in with a bang, but rather sneak in quietly. They take root in the joints, in the lungs, under the skin, even in vital organs. You might not notice them at first, but over time they chip away at your stamina, your mental clarity, and your resilience. That's why one of the most underestimated benefits of the olive oil and clove blend is its natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory power. Let's start with clove. Within that tiny spice is one of nature's most potent healers. You know, this compound has been studied for its remarkable ability to kill harmful bacteria, inhibit fungal overgrowth, and even slow down viral replication. And when applied to the skin using olive oil as a carrier, eugenol doesn't just sit on the surface, it penetrates. It travels deeper into tissues, where it helps cleanse and protect from microbial threats you didn't even know were there. And this matters more than ever for men over 60. With age, the skin's barrier weakens, wounds take longer to heal, and the immune response becomes slower. That's why a blend like this can act almost like a second line of defense, helping the body ward off infection before it ever becomes a full-blown problem. But the story goes even deeper, because inflammation, especially the chronic, low-grade kind that hides in your gut, your blood vessels, or your joints, is now known to be a root cause of most age-related diseases: heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, even cognitive decline. These aren't isolated problems, they're all connected through the common thread of inflammation. And here, the olive oil-clove duo shines. Olive oil brings powerful antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, while clove disrupts inflammatory signaling pathways inside the body. Together, they soothe swollen tissues, reduce silent redness under the skin, and help the body shift from a state of irritation to a state of healing. I've had patients tell me that just after a week of consistent use, their breathing became easier. The nagging tension in their knees softened. That scratchy throat they thought was normal, gone. And most importantly, they felt a quiet, almost imperceptible relief, like their body could finally relax after years of being subtly on edge. This isn't just surface-level cleansing. It's a resetted chance for your body to return to balance. And once that internal foundation is restored, everything else gets easier. Your digestion improves, your recovery accelerates, your immune system becomes sharper, and your mind, yes, even your mental energy becomes clearer and more responsive. So here's a thought to reflect on. What if part of your fatigue isn't age, but inflammation you've never addressed? Let me know in the comments. Type inflame if this connects with you. Because next, we're going to explore a benefit that most people completely overlook, one that might just shift the way you think about food, energy, and long-term vitality. Here's a question most men never expect to ask themselves after 60. Why does my energy crash after eating? Why do I suddenly feel shaky, foggy, or hungry again just an hour after a full meal? For many men, especially after midlife, blood sugar, it becomes the silent battle behind the scenes. Whether it's prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or just unpredictable dips and spikes in energy, the symptoms can be subtle, but they chip away at your stability physically, emotionally, even sexually. If your hands shake before lunch, or you feel mentally drained after dinner, that's not just aging. That's blood sugar dysregulation, and left unchecked, it can damage nerves, strain your heart, promote fat storage, and even dull your intimacy drive. This is where the olive oil and clove blend brings something surprisingly incredibly simple. Clove, as we've touched on earlier, isn't just antimicrobial, It's also metabolically active. Studies have shown that the compounds in clove, especially eugenol, help improve insulin sensitivity, which means your body is better able to move glucose from your blood into your cells where it's used for energy. Eugenol also slows the breakdown of carbohydrates in your digestive tract, which means you avoid that spike crash cycle so many men experience after meals. Now pair that with olive oil, a healthy fat that not only slows glucose absorption but also contains oleic acid, a compound linked to reduced inflammation and improved insulin function when taken internally or applied topically near insulin-sensitive areas. This combination supports the very foundation of blood sugar regulation. What this translates to in real life is more stable energy without the cravings, the crashes, or the post-meal exhaustion. Some of my older patients, especially those already dealing with erratic blood sugar, have told me something remarkable. They no longer feel like their day is ruled by their next snack. They aren't fighting the fog every afternoon, and over time, many report modest but consistent weight loss, especially around the midsection, a notorious side effect of long-term insulin resistance. This matters more than just numbers. When your blood sugar stabilizes, your mental clarity returns, your mood levels out. You're no longer held hostage by hunger or fatigue, and from a long-term health perspective, you're protecting your eyes, your kidneys, your nerves, and your cardiovascular system in one of the most effective ways possible, and perhaps most rewarding of all. When the inflammation fades and your blood sugar stops swinging like a pendulum, your body starts shifting into healing mode. You begin to repair naturally, and for most men, one of the first places they notice this healing is in the joints and muscles where pain begins to ease. Mobility improves, and waking up in the morning no longer feels like a battle. So if you've been dealing with blood sugar issues, whether diagnosed or just suspected, try this ritual and track how you feel. Comment stable if you've ever felt your blood sugar was affecting your energy or focus. Because up next, we're diving into a benefit that directly impacts how you move, how strong you feel, and how youthful your body can still become even after 60. So let me ask you this: what would your life look like if getting up from a chair didn't come with that familiar stiffness in your knees, or if reaching for something didn't trigger that dull ache in your shoulder? For many men over 60, joint stiffness and muscle discomfort quietly become part of daily life. It doesn't show up all at once, but gradually, movements that used to be second nature begin to feel restricted, heavy, or simply painful. And while over-the-counter painkillers may provide temporary relief, they rarely address the root causes. That's what makes the olive oil and clove blend so unique. It doesn't just mask the pain. It works deeper, helping your body recover from the inside out. Let's begin with olive oil. This golden elixir is rich in a natural anti-inflammatory compound called oleocanthal, which scientists have compared to ibuprofen without the harmful side effects. When applied topically, olive oil doesn't just sit on the skin, it absorbs, sinks into inflamed joints, swollen tissues, and fatigued muscles, helping to rehydrate tissues, soothe irritation, and enhance circulation through the tiniest capillaries, delivering healing nutrients to the places that need them most. Then comes clove, the spark behind this blend. Eugenol, its active compound, isn't just a natural anti-inflammatory, it's also a powerful analgesic, meaning it calms the nerves that carry pain signals. When used regularly, this combination has the potential to not only reduce discomfort, but restore mobility gently, warming the tissues, increasing local blood flow, and bringing in the oxygen that muscles and joints need to rebuild. Men in my practice often tell me the same thing. Mornings are easier, the post-walk soreness fades faster, that deep nagging pain in their back or hands feels lighter and quality. And most importantly, this blend doesn't stress the liver, kidneys, or stomach like synthetic medications often do. But here's the bigger truth. Relieving physical pain isn't just about comfort, it's about reclaiming freedom. When your body is no longer fighting every movement, your energy returns. You walk with more purpose. You lift without hesitation. You show up to your day with a renewed sense of strength, and that strength radiates through every part of your being. Pain steals not only motion, it steals motivation. It keeps you stuck in place, emotionally and physically. So when that pain is lifted, even gradually, something else starts to return. Vitality. That spark that says, I've still got it. And that's why this blend is more than a massage oil. It's a daily ritual of renewal, a gentle yet powerful reminder that even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, your body still knows how to heal. It just needs the right signals. And this blend done consistently can become one of those signals. So now, imagine this: your blood is flowing, your joints are looser, the pain is easing. What comes next? Desire, drive, masculine motivation. Comment move below if you've ever felt like joint pain held you back from doing what you love. Because in the next section, we're going to explore something even more powerful: how this blend could help awaken your deepest source of vitality as a man. Let me ask you something personal but important. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something deeper was missing? Not just strength or stamina, but that inner drive, that quiet but unmistakable spark that once defined your masculinity. This isn't just about libido or physical performance. For many men over 60, what starts to fade is a sense of identity. The vital energy that once fueled confidence, intimacy, and motivation begins to dim subtly at first, but steadily. It's a shift few talk about, but many carry silently. The good news: that spark isn't gone, it's just waiting to be reignited. And when used with consistency and intention, this simple blend of olive oil and clove can help awaken it, not through artificial stimulation, but by working with your body's natural systems to restore vitality at its roots. So how does it work? The secret lies in the way this blend supports blood flow, hormone balance, and nervous system sensitivity all at once. Clove has long been recognized in traditional medicine for its aphrodisiac properties, and modern science is beginning to explain why. Eugenol, its primary compound, increases circulation to key regions of the body, especially where it matters most for male vitality. This improved blood flow doesn't just boost physical performance, it stimulates nerve endings, enhances sensitivity, and supports the hormonal signaling involved in arousal and motivation. In fact, some studies suggest eugenol may even enhance the body's response to testosterone by improving how cells receive and process hormonal cues. That means even if your hormone levels are normal, your response to those hormones can still improve, leading to stronger morning reactions, a deeper sense of drive, and a more consistent desire for connection. Meanwhile, olive oil supports the entire system from the ground up. It reduces internal inflammation, nourishes the adrenal glands, which play a major role in hormone production, and promotes deep restorative sleep, a vital ingredient for healthy testosterone levels and mood regulation. It also helps stabilize cortisol, the stress hormone that can quietly sabotage energy, intimacy, and emotional resilience. What men report after consistent use is powerful. They feel more grounded in their body, more in control. Their stamina improves. They feel reconnected with their partners, with their sense of self, and with a version of masculinity that doesn't just go through the motions, it feels alive again. And because this method doesn't rely on pills, prescriptions, or artificial triggers, it brings results that feel authentic, natural, sustainable. It's your body remembering how to function at its best, not being forced into a temporary performance. But as any man knows, confidence in the bedroom is just one part of the story. Because once your blood is flowing, your hormones are rebalanced, and your energy is restored, your body doesn't just come back, it begins to radiate. And that takes us to the next unexpected benefit of this powerful blend: how it begins to transform something you see every day, your skin. So stay with me. And if this message resonates with you, comment strong below, because we're not done yet, and the next change may be visible in the mirror before anywhere else. Let me ask you something most men don't say out loud. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and actually liked what you saw? Not in a vain way, but in a way that said, I still look like me. As the years go by, your skin begins to reflect time more visibly. It grows thinner, drier, and more fragile. You may notice rough patches, sagging areas, deeper lines, or discoloration that wasn't there before. For many men over 60, these changes become background noise, accepted, ignored, or just covered with a shrug. But what if I told you those changes aren't as irreversible as they seem? The olive oil and clove blend we've been exploring has one more card to play: skin rejuvenation, real, visible, and grounded in science. Let's start with olive oil. This isn't just a cooking staple, it's one of nature's oldest skincare allies. Packed with vitamin E, polyphenols, and essential fatty acids, olive oil works as a deep moisturizer, repairing the skin's natural barrier while calming irritation and shielding against environmental stress. Used consistently, it doesn't just hydrate. It softens fine lines, fades age spots, and restores elasticity, especially in areas like the elbows, hands, and foreheads, those small zones that often betray your age even before your posture does. And then there's clove, bringing its unique edge. With its antiseptic and antibacterial properties, clove oil helps purify the skin, calm inflammation, and fight breakouts or fungal irritations like athlete's foot and nail fungus. The subtle, tingling sensation you feel when applying it, that's increased microcirculation, which stimulates your skin's repair systems at a cellular level. Together, this duo isn't just moisturizing, it's awakening the skin, and the results often catch men off guard. After just a few weeks of nightly use, many report firmer texture, smoother tone, and a healthier-looking glow. Age spots begin to fade, the face looks more rested, and even the roughest areas like knuckles or knees feel renewed. Some men tell me they didn't realize how dull their skin had become until they saw it start to come back to life. And that's the point. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about aging with vitality, feeling comfortable in your skin. Because here's the truth: when your skin begins to reflect vibrancy again, it's often a mirror of what's happening deeper within: improved blood flow, reduced inflammation, cellular restoration. Your skin tells a story, and in this case, it's one of recovery, not decline. So if you've ever thought, it's too late for my skin to improve, I challenge you to try this blend consistently for a few weeks and see what the mirror says. Back.com and glow if you've noticed changes in your skin over the past decador if you're ready to reclaim that sense of strength in your appearance. But the surface is only the beginning. Because while your skin might start to shine on the outside, there's another part of your body this blend touches, one that many men struggle with silently, every single day: your hair. And that's where we're heading next. Here's a question few men say out loud, but many feel inside. What does it mean when your hair starts to thin, fall out, or lose its strength, and why does it affect your confidence so deeply? For many men, hair is more than just a feature. It's a symbol, a visual link to youth, vitality, presence, and identity. And when it starts to fade, whether slowly at the crown or abruptly along the hairline, it's not just a cosmetic change, it's an emotional one. That's why the olive oil and clove blend, though simple, can become an unexpectedly powerful ally in keeping your hair stronger, fuller, and more resilient as you age. Let's start with the foundation. Olive oil, rich in vitamins A and E, along with nourishing omega fatty acids. Olive oil deeply moisturizes both the scalp and the hair shaft. When gently massaged into the scalp, it helps soften hardened follicles, loosens buildup that may be blocking new growth, and restores essential hydration to dry, flaky skin. It also soothes inflammation and itchiness too, silent culprits behind hair loss that often go overlooked in older men. But it's when you combine this with clove oil that the real synergy begins. Clove's active compound, eugenol, doesn't just smell invigorating, it enhances circulation directly to the scalp. And this is critical. As men age, blood flow to the scalp diminishes, depriving hair follicles of oxygen and nutrients. Eugenol reawakens those dormant roots, stimulating follicle activity and encouraging the emergence of new, stronger strands in areas that may have gone quiet. Clove oil also contains potent antibacterial and antifungal properties, making it effective in clearing scalp infections, reducing dandruff, and preventing clogged follicles, common reasons behind hair thinning and shedding. Many of my male patients describe the experience of applying this blend to the scalp as tingly, alive, or surprisingly comforting. Over time, they begin to notice fewer hairs left in the brush, stronger anchoring at the roots, and in some cases, even new baby hairs appearing along the temples or crown. This isn't about reversing time overnight. It's about reinvigorating your body's natural ability to grow, protect, and maintain what it still can. And the simple act of warming a few drops in your hands, massaging it into your scalp 2 to 3 times a week, becomes a ritual of self-respect, a quiet investment in your confidence and longevity. Because when your hair feels fuller, your posture changes. Your eyes lift, you carry yourself with a little more certainty, and more than that, you're proving something vital to yourself, that aging doesn't mean fading, it can mean renewal. Especially when you support your body's natural systems, instead of giving up on them. That now that we've explored what this blend can do for your skin, hair, energy, and inner vitality, it's time to learn how to use it properly. Because when it comes to results, technique matters. In the next section, I'll guide you step by step through how to prepare the blend, how to apply it, and how to make it a consistent part of your week for head-to-toe results that you can feel and see. Comment hair if you've experienced thinning or scalp changes as you've aged, and let's talk about what's worked for you too. Now that you've seen how this simple blend can reawaken your energy, circulation, skin, and even your hair, there's just one question left. How exactly do you use it to unlock all of those benefits? Because the way you prepare and apply this mixture makes all the difference. When done right, it stops being just a home remedy and becomes a restorative ritual, a message to your body that it's time to heal, recover, and rise again. The beauty of this practice is that it's simple. There are 2 main methods. Both are easy to incorporate, and neither requires expensive equipment or complex timing. Let's start with the first, the warm infusion for topical use. Take 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, the highest quality you can find. Warm it gently, just enough to feel soothing on the skin, not hot. Add in 1 teaspoon of ground clove. Stir well, and let this mixture steep for at least 20 minutes so the medicinal compounds from the clove can begin to infuse into the oil. Want a stronger version? Let it sit in a sealed glass jar for 24 to 48 hours, then strain it through cheesecloth. If you prefer a smoother texture, once your blend is ready, you can apply it to your lower abdomen, inner thighs, chest, scalp, or any area that needs pain relief, circulation support, or rejuvenation. Massage it in gently slow, intentional movements. Leave it on for 20 minutes, or allow it to absorb overnight. Doing this even just twice a week can yield real results over time, especially if you're consistent. Now, let's move to the second method, internal support through a clove-infused tea with olive oil. Boil 1 cup of water, add 5 to 6 whole cloves and cover the pot. Let it steep for 15 to 20 minutes. Then strain out the cloves, let the tea cool slightly, and stir in 1 to 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Drink this blend about 30 minutes before bedtime. 2 to 3 nights a week. It supports digestion, blood sugar stability, deep sleep, and internal inflammation control. But beyond the science, it becomes a calming nighttime signal to your body. It's time to rest, to repair, and to reset. Now, some of my patients do both. They apply the oil topically as a massage and drink the tea before bed. One nourishes the body from the outside in, the other from the inside out, and together they create a kind of synergy, a whole body response that gently supports circulation, hormone balance, pain relief, and even sleep and recovery. But the most important part of all this is not the ingredients, it's the consistency. This isn't a miracle, curates a rhythm, a quiet, recurring signal to your body that it's still worth tending to, that healing is still possible, that you still matter. So whether you start with one method or both, remember this: every drop you apply, every cup you sip, is an act of reconnection. A way to tell your body, I haven't forgotten you, I'm still here for you. And now that you know how to prepare and use this powerful blend, there's one final step. Because what truly makes this practice life-changing isn't just the clove or the oil, but what they awaken within you. In our conclusion, I'll show you how to turn this simple health habit into a cornerstone of a life that feels strong, grounded, and fully alive again. If you've already tried preparing this blend or plan to, type ready in the comments below, and let's commit to this journey together. And now, here we are. You've followed the journey from understanding the power of olive oil and clove, to exploring how this blend can touch nearly every aspect of your health: heart function, inflammation, blood sugar, muscle pain, skin, hair, even your core sense of vitality as a man. And most importantly, you now know how to use it clearly, simply, purposefully. But this is about more than just applying oil or sipping tea. This is about reclaiming rhythm, rebuilding trust with your body, and remembering that healing doesn't have to be loud or complicated, can be quiet, consistent, and deeply human. What makes this ritual powerful is not just the ingredients, but what they awaken in you: a sense of care, a reconnection to your physical self, a reminder that strength isn't about how much you push, but how well you listen. So if there's one thing I want you to take from all of this, it's this: you are not too old. It is not too late. The tools for renewal are already in your hands, sometimes quite literally. All it takes is intention, consistency, and a willingness to believe that even something as humble as olive oil and clove can lead to extraordinary change. So, tonight, maybe while the world is quiet, give yourself 20 minutes. Warm the oil, breathe deeply, touch your body with purpose, not to fix something, but to remind it that you are still here, still capable, still worthy of strength, presence, and vitality. And if this message resonates with you even just a little, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts, your experiences, or if you've tried the blend. Your story might be the reason another man decides to start his own journey. And if you haven't already, go ahead and tap the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more practical, natural ways to support your health and reclaim your energy. Not because you have to, but because you're ready. Because you're not fading. You're rising stronger, clearer, and more alive than ever.